All right. We're gonna see if this works. Doesn't seem like my audio working? My audio is working. Okay. Everybody just yeah. I guess give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear this. We're gonna try and see if we can make it work tonight. It's not going well, but hey, I'm trying something new. Hopefully it'll get to you sooner. I'd like to do a latency test. I'm trying to stream directly to X from OBS, see if it has a faster turnaround time. So please let me know with the number 2 when you hear this. Number 2. I'd be curious how long that takes. But anyways, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you that showed up. I know it's been a challenge. I apologize for last night, but you know what? We're just going to get right into it. You can check out my profile. It'll be great. You can check out the website. It'll also be great. Check this out. patriotdad.org has the links to all the different ways that you can support me. Still seems to be a fairly long turnaround. I was hoping streaming directly to X would narrow that a little bit. We'll try another test. Give me a 3. Give me a 3 when you get this. We'll see if we can check the actual latency. Yeah, guys, this is all the ways you can support me. You can buy me a coffee. You can go to the merch website. You can do all kinds of fun things. Just let me know. You can check out my website, patriotdad.org. Here, you can check out the men'sempowerment.network. You can check out me on X. You can also check out me. Yeah, it seems like it's still like 20 seconds or more. All that work. Didn't fix it. Gotta love it. Well, we'll try something. We'll keep trying, guys. I need to get a shorter latency with you guys so that I can have a better direct communication. I was hoping streaming directly would work better. But okay, we're going to try and see if we can make this work, guys. Just bear with me. I'm also trying to get my video switcher integrated into the setup. That was part of my issue from all day today. Many changes coming your way. So just be patient with me. Guys, this most recent crap going on, all they want to talk about is guns, guns, guns. They want to take your guns. They want to make you more safe, right? They're tired of all the shootings. Well, we've had 2 in the last 24 hours. What do we do about this, guys? Check this out. This is a man disarming one of the shooters over there in Australia. But why didn't they end it permanently? Why did they let this guy just walk away? It seems questionable. I don't know. It seems very suspicious to me.
Oh!
C'est un malade.
Oh non, gros! Oh!
Ouais, mais il y a son
Like,
pote,
why let him walk away, guys? I don't get it.
Il est trop con, le mec qui a l'arme.
I don't get it at all. Like, just letting him walk away. Why? Why do they want you disarmed? You should ask yourself that. Why is it that after this shooting, they want you disarmed? Why is it that after Brown University, they want you disarmed? And we'll go over that story here in just a second. 12 people or more are now dead. Guys, 12 people or more are dead in Australia. They have gun control, guys. They took away everyone's guns. And yet, somehow, the terrorists don't care. Somehow, the criminals don't care. Never let them take your guns, guys. So you got this. Also, and actually, it looks like the latency on my end is a lot shorter because I can see the preview in my window. And it looks like it's about 5 seconds. But let me know. I would love to chat more with you guys. But guys, this is literally what they're doing. Tommy Robinson here says, chilling footage shows 2 Afghans who had only just arrived in UK frog marching a 15-year-old girl in a park, forcing her to perform acts on them. Michael McCarthy here has a good point. He says the government is taking your money out of your pocket to house people who would rape your children. Might be a blunt way to put it, but you know what, guys? It's simply the truth. It's unfortunate. It really is. Nick Freitas, there are two types of people that flee their states for others. There are refugees and locusts. This was earlier in the week. Refugees understand why they fled and appreciate where they are fleeing to. Locusts helped create the circumstances they fled and are now doing the exact same thing in the place they fled to. To which Gardner responds, we have a lot of locusts in our country, don't we? Why is it that we tolerate locusts being among us? Why? Like why do we tolerate it? Why do we import people that hate us? Why do we import people that want to kill us and rape our children? We just had the shooting and killing of over 12 people on Bondi Beach in Australia by people that obviously hate the Australians. It's happening in the UK. It's happening here in the United States. You'd think we would learn. And then it turns around, you see the EU is actually just an evil organization, guys, because the EU fined Hungary €500 million for not letting migrants in. It's like, hey, while migrants are pillaging and raping all of Europe, let's go ahead and fine a country for not doing it themselves. Like, spread around the punishment, I guess. Like, you're not taking it in the shorts like everybody else, so we're going to fine you until you do. Comply or else. Guys, the West is crumbling. The West is failing. And it's failing because we're importing locusts. Like, our politicians need to wake up before the people lose complete faith and confidence in the systems that are in place. Because if we can't trust law and order to be maintained, then what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we tolerating a government of governments, right? Because the EU is a government that runs the governments of Europe. It's a bureaucracy for your bureaucracy. Why are they tolerating being treated this way? In fact, you're seeing that some people aren't tolerating it. You see here that Japan's First Party's new female leader, Takako Yamaguchi, leads an anti-Islam protest in Osaka. We will not tolerate the invasion of Islam. Guys, this is the correct response. This is the only way that your country is going to survive what is happening. You need to repel the invasion, and then we need to change and implement policies that support the native populations of the West having more kids. If the government continues to print money and make conditions that are inhospitable to marriage and childbearing, then we will continue to see a decline in population and a decline of the West. It's that simple. There's two paths that we can choose. We can choose to reclaim our culture and our heritage, or we can fold and give in. And I don't want to fold and give in. I love America. I am America only. Definitely America first, probably America only at this point. But guys, in order for America to exist, we need to take a stand and actually state what our beliefs and our culture are. I am an American. I am a Christian. I am a veteran. And I love this country, and I will not see it devolve into chaos. You got here, Geiger Capital. Nobody wants to die for a multicultural economic zone. Martin here says, if you had to explain why the Roman Empire declined and fell, this sentence would just about sum it up. Yes, guys, the EU economic zones, nobody wants to go and fight and die for an economic zone. They want to fight and die for their culture, their country, their countrymen, their beliefs, for their children's futures, not for a bunch of unelected bureaucrats in an economic zone. They just don't. The West is openly and publicly acknowledged. Okay, until the West openly and publicly acknowledges that real rapes are worse than perceived racism, nothing much will change. Well, guess what? I will gladly publicly state that. that real rapes are in fact much worse than perceived. Perceived racism and perceived offenses are worthless. They're stupid. Who cares? Real murders, like the shootings on Bondi Beach, real rapes, like those of the people in Europe and here by migrants, those are what matter. And as Elon says here, the Overton window continues to open wider and wider. It's not good, guys. It's not good. ICE is being spotted all over Pinal County, Arizona, guys. This is how we start to fight back. We need to reclaim our country. We have to repel the invasion. Part of this invasion comes from all over the world, guys. It's not just one place. It's not. It'd be nice if it was, because then you could identify that one place and you could say absolutely not. But it's coming from everywhere, guys. There's people from over 100 different countries of origin. Out of the 195 countries or so that exist in the world, there are people from well over 100 that are here illegally. This is not a Hispanic problem. This is not a Middle Eastern problem, an African problem, an Asian problem. This is an all-around problem. Our country is being invaded by people who do not want to be American. The sheriffs there in Arizona, they're now turning traffic stops into deportations. I love it. Deport them all. That's right, Shell. Border Patrol commander said the gang member, wife beater Kilmar Obrego Garcia will be getting deported again.
Once he becomes deportable, for the second time. Remember, he was deportable the first time and actually got deported. When he becomes deportable the second time, we're going to deport this individual. It's too bad that we have these activist judges that legislate from the bench and put MS-13 gang members back out on the streets to harm Americans. That's what we're doing in these American cities, are taking individuals like this, quote Maryland ad, out of circulation and putting them back where they need to be, and that's in their country of record.
All right, just keep an eye on him, because he could fly the coop and go to Chicago, just blend in the Bulls game. You gotta watch guys like this. They're slippery.
Yeah, guys, 100%. He was deportable before. A judge just arbitrarily decided he's not deportable again. I don't know how that works. I don't get it at all. I don't. These activist judges need to go. That's on the long list of things that need to happen if we're going to save the country, guys. We need to start ignoring activist judges, the people that hate our country. Basically, everyone that demonstrates that they hate the United States, we need to ignore them and we need to get rid of them. That's it. One way or another, guys, we need to deport the people. We need to disrobe and debar, whatever they call that, for getting rid of a judge. We need to expel people from Congress. I'm looking at you, Ilhan Omar, and others, Rashida Tlaib, among others. We can't keep doing this, guys. We just can't. This is one of my favorite clips from earlier in the week, guys. This Vietnamese man nails it. Let's watch it. I grew up around a lot of Vietnamese folks, guys. They are really good people and solid Americans.
Since when the fuck did we have to bow
Also, language warning, guys.
down to certain communities? Look, I'm Asian. I'm Vietnamese, okay? When we have our own communities, too. And our communities thriving. You know, we have businesses. We've been here only, what, less than 50 years after the 1975. Our communities are thriving throughout the United States.
That's true. They own businesses. They do all kinds of things. Like, why is it that certain groups do really well, integrate well, American well, and other ones don't? It's almost like some come here because they want to escape the thing. That's the whole locust problem, right? Many communities aren't locusts. Many are. Obviously, the Vietnamese aren't.
If you look at our numbers, there's only about 2 million of us here in the United States. And out of that 2 million people that we have, majority of us have businesses, scientists, engineers, doctors, bright mind people that given back to this country more than we've taken. And we have never asked anybody to bow down or speak our language.
It's true. It's almost like they wanted to become American. Interesting. Maybe we should only let in the people that want to be American. Anyone else? If you start to demonstrate that you're not being genuine about it, you can go. Seems pretty easy to me. Here's an angel dad here talking to Democrats about sanctuary policies. This should be devastating.
Yeah, so Katie, we had a phone call Sunday morning, January 19th, that our daughter had died in a traffic wreck. And it turned out that the person who killed Katie was a Guatemalan national. He was using a Mexican national alias. So any minimal background check, any common sense policy that Illinois should have had would have kept him out of our state. He also had a incurable infectious disease. No one checked his health status when he came in. Was he as reckless with his disease in the communities as he was behind the wheel? I suspect he was, as I don't think this was his first foray into drunk driving, which is another issue in Illinois that really isn't being covered or, not much deterrence there. So it was very tragic. As a parent, it's something you can never prepare for. We are, as we go into the holidays.
Again, illegal alien, drunk driver, a criminal alien committing another crime, killed these people's daughter. Now they have an empty chair at the table. That never should have happened. You can see here, Gardner, Democrats don't have empathy or sympathy. They pretend they do, trying to help causes, never acknowledging that they are fueling corruption, guys, is a good thing. They're fueling a lot of things. It's just so... Every one of these deaths that is attributable to a criminal alien is entirely 100% preventable. They're all preventable. Yes, people die and are killed by American citizens and legal residents, sure. But that's not an argument to allow the criminal aliens to continue to invade and do as much damage as they're doing to our communities. Some of these, oh God, it looks like my organization changed as I reloaded all my tabs for the show, but it looks like these are definitely out of order. You have X here terminating the EU's ad account. They did this in response to the fine against Elon and X. Interesting. I think it's the right move. I think they should terminate all activity in the EU. In the EU economic zone, any property, any business owned by Elon should cease all operations. That's X. That's SpaceX and Starlink. That's everybody. Cut them off entirely until they're willing to pay for the services. And don't worry, those services might just add up to about what the fine is or more. It'd be interesting if they made a profit off of it. But here you have an illegal from El Salvador being arrested in Salt Lake City at the airport.
Baby, he did me. No! 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 My daddy! Help me! Help me! I don't know how to... Daddy, wait! I have my payment! No! Help me, please! My daddy! Help! I'm a human being!
Have mercy. How about have mercy? How about mercy on the people that are legally here? And being a human being doesn't give you a warrant to just do whatever you want. That sounds like a Linda, if you ask me. It sounds like an overweight Linda. doesn't it? No care. Zero sympathy for these people, guys. If you've been here, this person had been illegally for 18 years. Still illegal. Yeah, don't care. Don't care at all. You have Holman here. Over 62,000 children have been found by the Trump administration. These are the children that were trafficked into the U.S. by the Biden administration. And yes, I say that intentionally. It is my opinion that the Biden administration trafficked hundreds of thousands of children into the United States, which we would hold anybody else and throw them in prison for doing this. And yet the U.S. government became the largest human trafficker on earth. We were already the largest arms dealer. Might as well be the largest human trafficker, yeah?
I look at the numbers every day. On Friday, I looked at the numbers. There's over 62,000 children found by the Trump administration. Children that weren't even being looked for under the Biden administration. President Trump saved over 62,000 children's lives. Some of these children were in sex trafficking, we found them. Some were in forced labor. Some were being mistreated. I can't even discuss some of the mistreatment we found out about. President Trump, again, proves why he's the greatest president in my lifetime. Over 62,000 children rescued by President Trump. Again, children that were ignored and weren't being looked for under President Biden. I look at the numbers every day.
Yeah, guys, the fact that Biden trafficked all these kids and then didn't bother to follow up on what happened to them just shows that they were probably getting kickbacks to traffic all these children. You know what I mean? 62,000 is a very good start. Very good start indeed. So let's keep it going, guys. 62,000, a great start. So let's just keep going. You got here the fraudsters in Minnesota. This is more of the Somalians. We got more stories on them. If you weren't here for the evening updates throughout the week, guys, every day I had stories about the fraud that was being perpetrated on us by these Somalians. Like, it's got to stop. But just listen to this. It's absolutely crazy.
Honeymoon in the Maldives, a fleet of luxury cars. Here's a box with more than $270,000 in cash. This was all.
I want that. I want a box with $270,000 in cash.
Evidence from a new trove of files obtained exclusively by CBS News, showing how a group of convicted Minnesota fraudsters spent taxpayer dollars. One text message reads, "You are going to be the richest 25-year-old.
Inshallah.
We're not even at the end of the beginning of our pursuit of the stolen money and of the people who stole it.
U.S. Attorney Daniel Rosen leads the office digging into the wave of COVID-era fraud that hit Minnesota.
So how much money are we talking about stolen from the American taxpayer?
I can say with great comfort, well in excess of $1 billion.
That's what I'm talking about, guys. We import people that hate us. Those people then use the machinations that have been designed by the Democrat Party and set up in our government to defraud us of billions of dollars of our money, meanwhile supporting terrorism and other nonsense overseas. You got this. Holman confirmed that Homeland Security is actively investigating Ilhan Omar for her potential illegal presence in the United States. Guys, they have now produced evidence, and the White House posted it live this week on their account. Guys, they posted evidence that Ilhan Omar did, in fact, marry her brother. Hey, look. I didn't post the evidence. The White House did. So if she married her brother to get him legal status, that's immigration fraud. If you're guilty of immigration fraud, you should definitely just get denaturalized and deported. Yep. It's interesting to see. Pulling the records, running it down this week. Can't wait to get the update on that one. Another fun thing.
Somalians have it figured out in Columbus. Oh yeah, the Somalians have it figured out in Columbus. I went to the Walmart on Georgesville to see if I could see people filling their carts or just kind of see what I could see. It's not the way they do it. They've got it figured out way better than that. Every single Somali restaurant has a grocery store right next door or within eyeshot of the restaurant. The specific one I went into today had it attached to the restaurant. And wow, what an adventure that was. Stay tuned for more on that. Anyways, the grocery store and the restaurant were the same building. So they don't have to go to a Walmart or a Sam's Club or a Costco necessarily. They can just order everything they need to their grocery store that's right next to or attached to the restaurant that they also own and never have to fill a single cart. And I guarantee you, if you looked at the records of those grocery stores, they lose tons of money every year, and it's probably used as a tax write-off because those groceries are being funneled into those restaurants, with a daycare center on the opposite side. And that's the common trend you'll see. There's restaurants, grocery stores, and daycare centers, and also home health care businesses. I can't forget the home health care businesses. Nakia was absolutely right. And the reason for the daycare centers I found out while I was at Walmart. 3/4 of the workers I saw working in Walmart, especially the cashiers, were Somali women. You got to figure if you have 2 or 3 wives that you don't have to claim, these women can go work at Walmart full time for $15 an hour and still qualify for food stamps as long as they have a couple kids, which you can guarantee you they at least have 2 kids. Hell, they average 7. Or same story as working as a home health care aide. They have most definitely figured out the system and how to take advantage of it.
It's almost like there are NGOs and other people that are specifically telling these people when they arrive exactly how to do it. I would almost wager that there are classes that these people sign up for at their Islamic centers, at their Somali cultural centers, at all of these different places that instruct them exactly how to set up these businesses, how to get as many benefits as they can, what they should and shouldn't do. Guys, we are being robbed. And as the White House states here, clearly, if you don't share our values, contribute to our economy, and assimilate into our society, then we don't want you in our country. Yes, that is 100% true. If you don't want to be American and integrate into American society and contribute positively to our country, bye. Get out. Because if things get bad enough, we will push you out. It will not be pleasant. Please don't make us do this. We don't want to do this. We've been keeping our powder dry for a very long time. We still have some faith in the systems. When the patriots and the veterans lose complete confidence in the legal system and in the legislative process, it will end very badly. Please, White House, Senate, House, GOP, Democrats, whoever needs to hear this, please, for the love of Christ and all that is holy, fix it before then. All I ask. White House, believe you can go home. It doesn't matter where they are going. What matters is that they're deciding to get on the CBP Home app. Use it to self-deport today. And as Questionable Gardner said, it could be the Somali Express. That is a play on the Polar Express. It's good, good. So also following up on the other mass shooting, guys, I told you I had both. The president of Brown University, folks, having zero answers. Let's hear this DEI hire.
I'm catching up right now.
President, with all due respect, 6 hours after this shooting, and you said you don't know what was going on in that classroom? How does that happen? Were they taking an exam? Were they meeting for a club?
I don't know. I don't know.
6 hours later, and you're the president, and you don't know?
I do not know.
Well, That's kind of concerning.
Kind of concerning. Kind of concerning. This was 6 hours after it started, guys, and they know nothing. They don't have a suspect. They don't have a picture of the suspect. Guys, how does a campus with hundreds of cameras, its own law enforcement agency, all of this, how does this happen? And we still don't know. If there's an update on this, please let me know. I swear to God, I hope they have a suspect by now. It's been 24 hours almost. So that's 2 mass shootings in gun-free zones. A gun-free zone at a college campus and a gun-free zone, which is the entire country of Australia, who did gun confiscation. And yet somehow people are able to use guns there. It's almost like terrorists and criminals don't give 2 shits about what the rules are, about what the laws are. So by disarming the law-abiding citizen, all you're doing is making it more dangerous for everybody, because there is nobody present to stop these monsters that is armed. It's just a whole bunch of victims. Also, if you look here, this is our section on crime now. You got Tucson, Arizona mayor referred to the DOJ for obstruction after doxing ICE agents. Guys, F around, find out. It's coming. You have this, the Coast Guard seizing 150,000 pounds? Not grams. 150,000 pounds of cocaine. That is a lot. That is, yep. I like the comment there, Zebra. They seize, the Navy kills, as it should be. Yes, the Coast Guard is not really designed to be they can. They absolutely can. They have a 5-inch gun on their boat for a reason. But it's crazy that there was still 150,000 pounds of cocaine left, guys, after they've been murking the drug boats. And as I pointed out, they're getting every fish high from the Keys to Aruba. They still have 150,000 pounds of cocaine left. So good job, Coast Guard. Seizing lots of drugs. Hopefully they destroy them. We start to get into the crime section where we talk about prior arrests. This woman killed a man in Rhode Island. She had been arrested 100 times. Why is she on the street? Every state, the federal government, everybody needs their own version of Arena's law. These repeat offenders cannot be allowed out. Ever. Every person that kills someone after being let out as a repeat offender, that judge should be in jail right along with them. Vance Wall also did some great work here. He did some digging that wasn't just repeat offender related. He also found here, obtained the voting records for Asheville, North Carolina's vice mayor. Interesting. Appears to have cast ballots in both Georgia and North Carolina. Wait a minute. That doesn't happen. You can't vote in 2 different places. Furthermore, it appears that she also claimed a homestead tax exemption in Georgia, which legally requires you to be a permanent resident. That's weird. So if she is a representative from Asheville, North Carolina, she's probably not a permanent resident in Georgia, claiming a tax exemption only for permanent residents. That's also fraud. Oh, look, more fraud. More voter fraud. More financial fraud. It's almost like the Democrats are just a bunch of criminals, guys. You got here. This Oscar guy has now been finally denied bail because of Arena's law. Finally. Arena's law is working. The other thing that came out of the bail hearing is apparently he had already been banned from the light rail as well, but it wasn't enforced. Yep. 0 security. 0 people enforcing bans on the light rail. So this person stabbed a man. Never should have been stabbed. This person never should have been out. It's just getting worse, guys. This one's kind of funny, though. These people are whining that the ICE agent is laughing as the car hit a protester. Well, I'll skip ahead to about where that happens. Let's see. So, too loud. Oh yeah. Yes. And yes, thank God, Shell. ICE agents laughing. Well, as Steve points out, we're all laughing. I think, guys, if you're in a protest, you can stand on the sidewalk and you can peacefully protest whatever you want. You start obstructing traffic, you're going to get hit. You try to obstruct a federal agent, you're definitely going to get hit, and you should expect nothing else. So, protesters are getting hit by cops now. All is as it should be. This goes to my point I was making earlier, guys. If a bartender can go to jail for over-serving a drunk person who drives, then a judge should go to jail for the criminals they release who kill someone or, in my opinion, commit any offense. Any infraction, guys. You want to commit a felony? You want to murder somebody? Definitely go to jail along with them. You want to do anything? When you should have been in jail, and every crime you commit, half of the liability should fall on the judge that let them out. Half. Like whatever their sentence, split it right down the middle, guys. And none of this bullshit about letting people out early, because then the judge gets out early. No, I'm saying full sentence. Half goes to the judge, half goes to the perpetrator, and I think we'll do okay. I think that just makes common sense, guys. What do you think? I think this is a good solution, guys. We should notify our legislators immediately. Shell is in agreement. Who else is in agreement? Half the sentence. I'm getting notices about my kid's school. They better not be on a delayed start. Damn it. Kids are on a delayed start tomorrow. Oh, hang on. Let me text my boss. Gotta love it when we're doing this shit live, right, guys? Oh, let's see. What does that mean? Fuck. Well, that's not fun. There he is. Sorry, you can go ahead and just chat with each other. Although it looks like right now it's just Shell in the chat. So thank you, Shell. By the way, thank you for your support. Oh. All right, there we go. Broke the boss the bad news, and I was sick on Friday. It's going to start to look like I just don't want to go, especially because not this Monday, but the following Monday, I go out of town for like 3 weeks. Oh my God, there's so much stuff I still have to do. Okay. Here we go. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, guys. Threatening to insult, murder, or interfere with a federal agent is a felony. Logan Murfin of Tulsa, Oklahoma, has been charged with 10 counts after posting on social media that federal agents need to be gunned down, shot, and executed. Welcome to the find out stage, Logan. Yes, Logan has now been detained. Hold on, my boss answered. All right. But yeah, guys, don't threaten law enforcement on social media. That's crazy. Especially the feds. Don't do it. You can give warning statements like, hey, government, you need to fix yourselves before we lose complete confidence in the system because it won't end well for anybody. Please do so before it gets worse. See, that's me asking them, engaging directly and saying, hey, look, we've been trying to wait and be patient, and you're doing an awful job, and things are getting worse, as we can see around the world right now. Please fix it before it gets worse. See, that's me saying, please fix it. That's not me saying directly that I'm going to like interfere or attack somebody. Like, I'm not making a direct threat. I'm not having a call to action other than to the legislature to un-F themselves and go to work and fix the problems that are ailing this country. See the difference? National Guardsman Andrew Wolf is making additional progress, guys. He is able to stand with assistance. He is drinking water from a cup. He is now breathing without a ventilator. So we are seeing marked improvement. This is one of the 2 people that were gunned down by the Afghan National in D.C., our National Guard troops. Unfortunately, one girl lost her life. This man survived and appears to be making a recovery, guys. Check out the profile. Check out the website, patriotdad.org. Check out the community, the Patriot Dad family. You can join that. You can follow us as we go into our next fast, probably after the new year when I get back into town. It'll be a lot of fun, guys. We did 5 days last time. Shell and I did it successfully. Lost like 8 pounds. I have not kept it all off. I do like food. But I am exercising and doing things to try and make it so the weight I do put back on isn't all fat. Right? But guys, check it out. Also, I normally have my schedule pinned there, but I had to add this today because of the shootings that were happening. So I will just read you my pinned post that says, to let every Linda on X right now demanding gun control, I have 2 words for you. It's F you. You're the reason this shit's getting worse. Brown University and Bondi Beach are already gun-free zones. You are the reason why so many are dead. You are at fault, not us. Yes. But you can... Oh, apparently it's also pajama day if school opens. So if the kids do get to go to school, it is pajama day. That's good. Oh, the delays are going to kill me. All right. Homan, as you can see here, confirms ICE operations leaks appear to have originated from the FBI. Guys, earlier in the week, there was a story that counter-protesters were showing up pretty much everywhere that ICE was. They would show up and there would be counter-protesters basically already there. They tracked down that the leakers for some of these are actually coming from inside the FBI, guys. It's really the only way that they would have operational information is that somebody inside of these agencies is leaking live operational information to leftist organizations so that they can organize and have counter-protesters show up. There's really no excuse for it. It is treason, or at least seditious conspiracy. We need to clean house in the government, guys. There's really no other ifs, ands, or buts about it. We can't have that kind of leaks occurring in our federal law enforcement. Trump is also signing an executive order reclassifying marijuana as a Schedule 3 narcotic from Schedule 1, guys. Schedule 1 means it has no medical use. That has not been true about marijuana for many years. So it's the right thing to do to update it to a Schedule 3. That makes sense. They should not fully legalize it, but making it a Schedule 3 narcotic says that it does have medical uses. It does give it some more leeway. And he's rumored to be signing this as soon as tomorrow. So, again, Trump doing the thing that everyone else says they would do that no one else ever did, just like moving the embassy to Jerusalem, right? The thing that everyone is saying, oh, we should do that, but then they never do it. Here's another thing. Trump is, well, sometimes you can just do things, guys. So he is. Trump also called for the Federal Reserve to slash interest rates to 1% or lower within the next 12 months, guys. That would be insanely low. If the prime rate was below 1%, we would probably have a lot of inflation. Now, We could do things to help control that. We have tariffs. We have other vehicles that we could use to try and control inflation. Primarily, though, they've been using the Federal Reserve interest rate to help control rates of inflation. But we're also trying to get the economy moving. We're trying to prevent stagflation. We did lower, the Fed did this week, lower a quarter point on the interest rate. So it's interesting to see that we have Trump calling for them to go to basically almost nothing again. And then we're doing things like this. We're seizing oil tankers off of Venezuela, guys. We have this little quick video where they're fast roping this thing. They approach an oil tanker just off the coast of Venezuela, and they say, you know what? I am the captain now. It is mine now. I can has. And they just land on and storm this. Now, it's funny to see the lefties get all upset. They're like, oh, look, you can, in fact, take a boat and not blow it up. Yeah, you can land an entire team fast rope style on an oil tanker. You cannot do that on a small speedboat at high speeds on the ocean. Just saying. And most of the time, the crews on these oil tankers are not that well armed. Whereas I guarantee you the people on those speedboats that are, carrying fish, they're probably pretty well armed. So not the same thing. Not even close. Yep, here we go. See, like I said, our stories are a little bit out of order here, but the Feds did cut the interest rates prime rate by a quarter point down to, I think it's 3.5-ish. Somebody looked that up. I'm not 100% certain, but it's somewhere in the mid threes. The trans-military ban was upheld by the federal courts this week. As you can tell, we've transitioned from crime into government. Hegseth was in court. They upheld his ban on transgenders in the U.S. military. Good to see. Ron DeSantis in Florida is now designating the Muslim Brotherhood and CARE as foreign terrorist organizations. So should everybody else. So should the federal government. But basically, they're just trying to make sure that they can use all legal mechanisms to go after them. If you financially support them, you're supporting a terrorist organization now. So good luck. Doge had a contract update. Over the last 5 days, agencies terminated or de-scoped 43 contracts, ceiling value $3.5 billion, saving us $222 million. Now, again, the difference in those two numbers is because a lot of the money has already been paid out. So the total value was $3.5 billion. $222 million still hadn't been paid. By ending or rescoping those contracts, they saved the remaining $222 million from being spent. This is good. Doge continuing to do work, guys. I love to see it. I love to see my friends Gardner and Sam, Robert, Elon, all of them still doing great work out there, guys. Big balls. Keep it up. And our California Doge friends, Karen reposted the stream. I actually get notified that because I'm actually looking at the X chat right now. Thank you for reposting the stream. Thank you for reposting the stream shell as well. It's good of you to show up. Thank you very much, Karen. It's good to see you. I know this is not our normal stream day. So thank you. Rubio, we are not going to spend billions of dollars funding the NGO industrial complex.
The United States has spent billions of dollars over the years in helping with health strategies all across the world. What we learned over time, and especially after coming here, is that oftentimes, and I'm oversimplifying it, but this is an accurate description, what would happen is we would go to a country and say, we're going to help you with your health care needs. Then we would drive over to Northern Virginia somewhere, find an NGO, one of these organizations, give them all the money, tell them go to this country and do their health care program for them. That NGO would then take about some percentage of that money for their overhead and administrative costs. And by the time it got down to it, the host country had very little influence. It was sort of imposed on them. And only a percentage of the overall money ever actually reached the patients and the people on the
a small percentage most of the time. Because not only would that NGO take it for administrative costs, it would then forward that money to a different charity that was also doing the work. Because, charities like to do this kind of work and outreach. So, yeah. They would take their cut for administrative costs. Then they would send it over to a partner charity, probably, or two, who would then send some of the money back to the original NGO, probably. And every time this money moves, people are taking a cut. By the time it gets filters down to the people that actually need the help, I'd be surprised if 10% was left. Marco makes it sound like it's more than that. I don't think it usually is.
Ground that we were trying to help because of these costs. This makes no sense. So why are we hiring American and international NGOs to go into other countries and run healthcare systems that are parallel and sometimes in conflict with the healthcare systems of the host country? If we're trying to help countries, help the country. Don't help the NGO to go in and find a new line of business.
Yeah, how about let's, instead of giving it to, how about we just give it to the country? Or directly to the clinic in the country that needs help. How about that? How about we just fund these programs directly? How about we don't use non-governmental organizations to do it? Crispy also reposted the stream. Thank you very much, Crispy. Good to see you in the chat as well. Like I said, I'm actually watching the X chat right now. So normally I was watching the restream, so I didn't get all of the status notifications as well. I'm also wearing a Tom McDonald shirt right now, by the way. That's right. It's red, white, and F your feelings. This shirt was gifted to me by Ms. Shell. Thank you very much for the shirts. So yeah, love it. Red, white, and F your feelings. Nice shirt. I agree, Karen. Karen, have you have we tried to get you one of your own shirts yet? Guys, if you haven't seen the merch yet, check out a Karen shirt. You really want a Karen shirt, I think. I mean, you want a Patriot Dad shirt and a Shell shirt as well. But also got, I cannot wear this shirt to work. I absolutely cannot. Sorry, my boss is reaching back out to me again. Let's see. All right, that should be good. Shell says, I'm wearing the I identify as a patriot one today as well. Oh, very nice. I have that shirt as well. Yeah, guys, these NGOs, the way they're funded, it's kind of shady. It's kind of crap. I don't like it at all. Not one bit. We need to fix it. You have this one. This girl speaks truth. And as Fight With Meme says, she's making a lot of sense and I don't like it.
The best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer to happiness. Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Make them attend that institution from age 5 until an adult and repeatedly test them on the information so that it becomes their truth. Give them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world.
Yes, tell them how to think.
Scold them and humiliate.
Crispy says my shirt says buttholes aren't the way.
Them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities. Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past and broadcast how cruel they are to each other in the present. Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst of one another. Convince them that their species used to be that of an incognizant wild animal. Make them think that their very existence is so incredibly random that they lack purpose and struggle to make sense of a creator. Tell them that their kind is as smart as they've ever been so that they don't question the integrity of the system that they're in.
Yeah, not to mention they don't question their history books. Guys, if you think that we are currently in, like, modern man is the only the only man version that's ever had technology, like, come on. Guys, how did they build the pyramids? They did this thousands of years ago, guys.
Provide them idols with artificial beauty and use them as examples of what it is to look perfect so that they are never content with their own appearance.
Yeah, guys, it's all fake. Instagram filters, professional photographers, Photoshop, makeup. Guys, none of it's real.
Can't help but to compare themselves amongst each other. Create addictive digital platforms that rank them by numbers so that they base their self-worth off of the amount of followers that they have and are never satisfied.
Yeah, it's pretty much all the reasons why I hate public education and why I keep my kids off of the internet. Yep, that's pretty much all of it. All across France, guys, farmers are basically protesting the EU and telling them to eat shit while spraying government buildings with literal shit. Oh, I can't play that. There's music. Mute. Look at that. Spraying literal shit at government buildings. The European farmer protests, guys, are hilarious. Like, they do not care at all. They don't. Oh, God, Carrot. Oh, yes. That makes it even to private schools. What does it even mean? Like, where is that from, Karen? Nobody knows. Oh, it's literal, like, social contagion. I think my kids once said something about it is somebody's jersey number. I don't know if it's a sports person or what. But yes, my kids say 6'7". I hear it all the time. It's annoying. I don't know what it means. If you could find out for me, Karen, just let me know. But guys, I love these farmer protests. They just roll into town and do whatever they want. It's great. Here you have Indiana did the right thing, saying no to partisan gerrymandering, and yes to fair competition. This is how democracy works, is it? Phil points out here, Phil Labonte, the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains, the anti-communist and counter-revolutionary. This is why Republican old heads have to go, the dustbin of history for them. Yes, the politicians, they really need to go. Went to a 6-year-old party at the bowling alley and heard it all day. Yeah. Ah, yes. That explains it, though, because my daughter is 6, and she is the one that brought it home. So that makes sense, I guess. Hang on. Sorry, I'm looking for something real quick. No, not done. What'd you say, buddy? Yes, that's correct. My kids came up to check to see if the show was still on. DOT threatens to pull $73 million from New York after audit finds that half of commercial trucking licenses went to illegal drivers. Guys, half. This is almost like the half of the visas that are fraudulent. Half of commercial trucking licenses went to illegal drivers. Guys, stop talking about it. Duffy, just do it. Pull their ability to issue licenses. You also have here video games. Video game developers level up with an R&D tax credit, guys. America's most pro gamer president. This is hilarious, by the way. This is a wonderful post by the White House. It is Trump as a Minecraft skin. And if I could, there is a version of it from Maurice, the native patriot here. And guys, I would download this and let my kids use it all day. All day. Wouldn't you? Who else here would want a native patriot Minecraft skin? I think this is awesome. If your kids are going to play it, you might as well play it looking like Maurice. You also have 389 years strong, guys. The U.S. National Guard stands ready. This was December 13th, the birthday for the National Guard. Gotta love it, guys. Thank you, Department of War, for posting this out. Now we're going to get into science, guys. El Salvador this week. Last week in the Coastal Classroom, a student reportedly asked Bitcoin how Bitcoin works, guys. You got to see here. They now unleashed Grok as a teaching assistant to help every child in El Salvador. You want to see what it's doing? Since Grok rolled out nationwide, the results are stunning. Grade 5 math scores have jumped 21% in 8 weeks. Reading proficiency has climbed 34% from 34% to 59%. Guys, it is so insane to see that amount of progress. But they're using Grok now to teach kids. This is what we should be doing here. Like, I don't know why we don't do this. Other than public teacher unions, I guess. But like, why does that matter? Like, why can't we just say, you know what? You always claim that you care about what's best for the kids, right? Right? It's for the kids. That's why you're always protesting. That's why your union's always complaining. Well, how about you do what's actually best for the kids? We just get rid of you because you're awful, and we let Grok teach instead. Now, obviously, you would want to monitor this some. Because sometimes Grok, even other AIs, Grok as well, will sometimes say and do things that are not correct. But more times than not, and it's getting better, guys, it does a far better job than the shitty teachers we have in most of our public schools. Sure, there are some good teachers, guys. I'm not saying all teachers in public schools are bad. They're not. There are some very good teachers, but there is enough bad ones that do you really want to play Russian roulette with your kid's future? Crispy says, yes, we should have Grok teaching. It's definitely going to be better. Definitely going to do better than half of the teachers, especially in the inner cities, right? The most disadvantaged children that everyone always uses as a bludgeon. How about we prioritize giving Grok to them since they're disadvantaged and in underfunded schools? How about we just replace those school teachers with Grok first? Give them the best opportunity, and then we'll see if it's really just the lack of funding and the quality of teacher, or is it the culture that is prevalent in those communities that is keeping people from doing well in school? It'd be an interesting case study. Don't you think? It would prove one way or the other. I think it'd be an interesting little metric, guys. Falcon 9, most casual round trip in space to space in human history, guys. This is basically a narrative of this video, so we're just going to watch the video and talk while we watch it. But this is a Falcon 9 launch from launch pad back to landing pad. But it is sped up. Karen says it's not a funding issue. We know. But we could prove it once and for all by replacing all the teachers with Grok, giving them unlimited access to AI for teaching. Let them research science like this as much as they want, and then see if they still have problems. Because I agree with you, Karen. It's probably not a funding or a teacher quality problem. It is a culture problem. But yeah, guys, the boost back burn, putting the grid fins out, starting its flip. It's going to do its entry burn here in a little bit. All the way back to launch site, guys. It was, what, like 10 years ago or so when they started catching these things, and they were doing their testing to catch them, and people thought they were crazy. People said, SpaceX, stop it. Rockets aren't reusable. You're crazy. Every time people tell Elon he's crazy and that something's not possible, he just ends up doing it anyway. So if it's a good reminder, sometimes you can just do stuff, guys. Even when everybody on Earth tells you you can't, turns out sometimes you can. As you can see here, this thing made it all the way back to launch site. It's close. The landing pads are very close to the launch pad. They're not the same, but they're very close to each other. But it's crazy, guys. This thing launched the second stage, well on its way, and then returned back home. I love science. I love these things. It's so fun. I'd love to see him do it. And then you got Elon Musk here. Talking about Elon Musk. This is Javier Milei. Let's listen to this real quick.
I have a huge admiration for Elon Musk. He is an absolutely unconventional person. He's a great fighter for the ideas of freedom. What he has done on Twitter, now known as X, and how he is helping the world nowadays to wake up once and for all and become aware of the socialist virus, the woke virus. That in itself makes him a hero in the history of humanity.
Why do you call it a suicide burn? It is called a suicide burn, Karen, because you have to time it perfectly. Falcon 9 has a positive thrust to weight ratio even when it's at minimum throttle because it is so empty and light, and the Merlin engine cannot throttle low enough. So it maintains a positive thrust to weight ratio. It cannot hover. So if they do not time the landing exactly perfectly, so that right when it's about to touch the ground, it zeroes out its velocity and cuts off its engines. If it tried to hover, it would actually just take back off and then crash. And if it didn't slow down fast enough and it tried to time it and it missed the timing, it would just slam into the ground. Hence, suicide burn. You're basically down to the nanosecond having to time and throttle your engine appropriately. It's called a suicide burn on purpose. You fuck it up, you're losing the rocket. There is almost zero margin. It's actually extremely impressive. You look at New Glenn. New Glenn can hover. Starship can hover, right? Many of these newer ships can hover. So they can zero out their velocity and kind of hang there for a second and then kind of lightly touch down. Falcon 9 can't do that. That's what makes it so impressive that it can land the way that it does. But yeah, guys, Elon is just doing great things. And it's interesting to see other world leaders respect him for the work he's doing. And then to have weird Lindas on X come out and try and say he's such an awful person. I don't get it. It makes zero sense to me. And then this is my favorite video of the week, guys. Please, if you have children in the room, please cover their ears or move them to a different room. Dan Pena is my favorite new billionaire. Gardner here says climate alarmists are full of shit, and one key metric to back up this claim. Yeah, guys, let's hear what Dan Pena has to say. Smackdown on a climate change zombie.
President Trump.
What are you guys going to do when our ocean level rises?
Thank you for asking that question. I have the answer.
Let me finish.
I have the answer.
Let me finish.
Well, thank you for the question. Yeah. Okay.
For the first time on Earth, we're changing the gas.
Now you're full of shit. Sit down. I'm going to answer you. If that were really true, what you believe, and let's just for a moment say that it is true. That means that the best scenario vis-a-vis global warming is about 10 feet raising water. That's the best scenario over the next 40, 50 years. That's the best scenario. If the water on the planet is going to rise up 10 feet, that means the southern part of the United States is gone. England is gone. Most of Europe is gone. And I can go, most of Central America is gone. Let's just take Florida, for example, which is one of the fastest growing beachfront condominiums on the planet. In the prospectus, when you invest, there should be, in the footnotes, if global warming is for real and water rises 10 feet, this investment you made is fuck all.
Yep, that would be in the notes, the footnotes and the assumptions would say your investment will be worth 0 if climate change is real.
Not one single investment prospectus written this century has alluded to global warming. Not one motherfucker.
I think he's feeling a little passionate about this, guys. What do you think?
If it were really true, the banks wouldn't invest. The banks wouldn't finance.
Yeah, who would give a long-term mortgage if it's going to be underwater?
Not one
Who would insure it?
Fucking condominium. And I'm jealous of the Vice President, Gore. I am jealous he came up with a scam before I did. Because the financial institutions, the banks of this world know it's not going to happen.
So does President Obama. He bought land and a home right on the beach when he got out of the presidency.
Otherwise, you couldn't get a goddamn loan in London. You know those 30, 40-year mortgages? The world will be over by then. Is Barclays Bank going to give you a motherfucking loan?
I'm just going to cut that clip there. That's a great way to end it, guys. Are they going to give you an MF loan?
Nope.
No. If global warming was real, they wouldn't give anyone a loan. You got this one. Tony Bruno, happy Saturday. Looking forward to going to space shortly. LWO is forecasting some high winds in the window. So everyone think calm thoughts. This is for Amazon Leo. Multiple beachfront homes. That's right. Multiple homes on the beach. Yeah, guys. Amazon Leo is the new, I think, branding for Kuiper. Right? Project Kuiper was their Starlink equivalent for their, what do they call it? A constellation of satellites to provide internet. So they called it Leo. Interesting. Could be a Da Vinci reference. Could be low Earth orbit. Could be both. Could be a play on words. Raptor 3 looks broken and it still breaks records. It's alien technology, guys.
This is the new Raptor 3.
It's got music. I will play this at the end. Gosh, so many music clips, guys. You're trying to get me demonetized. We also have the announcement, the upcoming Grok-powered X algorithm will rank posts based on what people actually engage with. So to help out, please repost the live, guys. Because the algorithm only cares about what people care about now. At least that's the allegation. So that when you engage with some content, you're just going to get more of that content. Keep that in mind when you engage and make fun of the Krasenstein brothers, because you will just see more of the Krasenstein brothers. Unless you're okay being a reply guy and just shitting on the Krasensteins all the time, which more power to you if that's your flavor. But guys, I just need to start making more content about nuclear power and more positive content about other things, because that's the kind of stuff that I want to see in my feed. I don't really want to see the stuff that I'm seeing. I should stop engaging with it, but it is so much fun. I don't like that it does kind of encourage you to not engage with things you disagree with. I don't know. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on the new algorithm style. But yep, the goal of the algorithm is trained on user behavior, not hard-coded rules. This is also trying to say things like ghost bans and whatnot shouldn't be possible. And this is what I'm saying, guys. Like, you need to interact more with stuff like this. I like it. You do other things. It's no longer fun, so I just ignore them now. Yeah, that's pretty much kind of the take I'm taking on it. I post a lot less on X right now. My impression numbers and everything are kind of in the toilet. And it's because, again, I just don't want to engage with them because I don't want to see any more of it. Microreactors can be used to power military bases, disaster recovery efforts, or remote locations where traditional infrastructure doesn't exist. And this is also good for places that are not right next to the water. Russia has a solution, as do we. Our aircraft carriers can actually reverse power small grids. But Russia designed some boat-based reactors that can power coastal towns. Makes a lot of sense. Use the ocean for cooling. But guys, these would be great. You have remote military bases. You can have this at like remote gas wells and other sites. You can build industrial infrastructure out away from the cities like all the NIMBY people want. And then you can power it with a micro reactor. It'll be great. A version of those would be this, the Megawatt in a Box. This is Radiant Nuclear's version. This is a high temperature gas reactor developed by Radiant Nuclear as a potential replacement for diesel generators. It's a megawatt in a box. Basically a standardized shipping container that contains a 1 megawatt reactor. It's on track to become the first company to test its fueled reactor experiment in Dome, the world's first micro reactor test bed. It'll be interesting to see how this works. I don't know how it's going to be with like radiation shielding with something this small. I'm assuming the reactor is inside of that blue vessel, and the blue vessel is probably mostly shielding. Otherwise, you would have some pretty gnarly neutron and gamma flux. You wouldn't want this next to you. Maybe bury it? I don't know. Kara says, if we could set up a Burger King in less than 24 hours anywhere on the planet, why not a reactor? Very good point, and I like your thinking. We probably can. And a reactor like this would be just how you could do it. Yeah, a reliable megawatt you can ship anywhere. It changes everything from disaster relief to remote industry. It really does. These two stories are pretty well linked. I love to see it. I want to see more things like it. Now, I don't want to see like 40 of these powering a single building like a data center. I think it makes more sense to build SMRs, not micro reactors, but small modular reactors. But yeah, guys, I love to see this development, guys. And then you have the small modular reactors, like I just said. Guardians of the Grid, black starting. Guys, this is the most important part of this. Like, I don't think most average people understand the difficulty in black starting the grid. Every power plant that is out there right now gets its house power from the grid. New meaning to Soul Glow. Nice, Crispy. So, at a regular full-scale nuclear power plant, its generator puts power into the switchyard to go to the grid. But it also has to then take power back from the switchyard back to the in-house electrical systems. They are not directly powered from the output of the generator itself. The generator goes to the grid, and they bring the grid back into the switch gears to power all of the house loads. So without the grid, if the grid goes away, you have no house power to run your large pumps and your infrastructure. They need to do things like line up gas turbine plants and align the grid directly to the nuclear plant so that it can start. And then they can start restoring power to other things. One thing at a time. Rebuilding the grid, if the grid has a complete collapse, takes weeks. Weeks. So the fact that with an SMR, you can start up from a completely black start state is good. It's a very good thing, guys. Small modular reactors under development in the United States could enhance nations' ability to adapt, withstand, and recover from extreme weather, cyber events, and physical attacks. They can also operate connected to the grid or independently, guys. Independently is how they should probably run these. You could have large industrial facilities, data centers, and other types of campuses or buildings that could be just powered directly. They don't have to impact the local grid at all. I think it's a great idea. Modularity, guys. The economics of scale. I'm all about small modular reactors. In fact, I am talking to some people about trying to start either an NGO, a charity, or a company. I haven't figured out which legal mechanism I'm going to use. But the point of this company is going to be nuclear advocacy and education. It will be for direct and indirect lobbying to members of the legislature in the states as well as at the federal level. Guys, we need someone out there who is a stronger advocate for nuclear power, for the policies that currently exist that were designed under an era that no longer exists, guys. They created most of our policy with a linear no threshold theory. That theory has been disproven. It is not real. Basing all of our policy on it is a very bad idea. It's overly restrictive. And we shouldn't be doing it anymore, guys. One of the reasons that we don't have more nuclear plants is because of the linear no threshold theory that all of our policy was based on. It's retarded. It's got to go. Crispy says new data centers will be built off planet. That's true also. I've seen those stories where now Elon is talking about putting them in orbit along with Starlink. It's an interesting idea, guys, but good luck doing any kind of memory or blade repairs. We're going to get into culture, guys. Elon hit the nail on the head, never deleting this app. This one posted out from Shell right here in the chat. You got this. I'd like to know which asshole was the one who came up with the pronouns bullshit in the first place. This dipshit deserves a solid punch in the face. I agree. In fact, it's so much of a problem that we finally get an article like this. Dad wins full custody of son. 4, after child's mother allegedly tries to raise him as non-binary. Harrison here won full custody of his 4-year-old son Sawyer, whose mother tried to force him into a non-binary identity by making him wear dresses and makeups. Good job, Dad, for divorcing that crazy Linda, and good job for fighting for full custody. If you need help fighting for full custody of your children, or if you need help going through a divorce with a Linda that's trying to dress up your kid in dresses, reach out to me. Men'sempowerment.network. Men's Empowerment Network can help you. I can give you some consulting services as well as some advice on how you, too, can get better outcomes when it comes to divorce and custody. I had pretty good outcomes in both of mine. I will never pay alimony. I will never pay child support. I have full custody of my children. My children are doing wonderfully, and they have zero contact with their mother. And that is intentional. She did a lot of things that I will not talk about publicly, but guys, just take my word for it. Not a good person. YouTube, this one, Mr. Guns and Gear. YouTube deleted 21 of his family-friendly videos about items that are constitutionally protected out of nowhere. Just deleted them straight off of YouTube. You can see it down there at the bottom. It says this content is removed from YouTube. This is why you need to keep backups. If you're a content creator, record all of your episodes. I'm doing that right now with OBS. All of my episodes are recorded to my storage server so that if they decide to purge them, I can always get them back. If you're a content creator, I highly encourage you to do so as well, because they can just arbitrarily decide one day that your video no longer suits their views and get rid of them. It's also an interesting timeline, guys, that Nicki Minaj has come out to be pro-MAGA. Imagine being the guy running and wanting to see trans kids. This is in reference to Gavin Newsom. Not even an adult would want to run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, and happy kids. Not Gav. The Gav nots. Gav out. Send in the next guy. I'm bored. The Lindinator. I feel like that could be a shirt. Shell, I don't know if you had a chance yet to go through the last episode to get the merch stuff back out of there yet, but let me know if you need help. 84 years ago, one morning altered America forever. Never forget, this was Pearl Harbor Day, was on the 7th. God bless our men and women in service. God rest the souls of the people who passed on that day. And thank you to everyone who continues to fight for a better country. Elon Musk, it's far more important to keep women and children safe than to pretend that some man's mental illness is our new reality. This is talking about the transgender debate. Yeah. It's true. It's far more important. Same thing with Islam, guys. Same thing with the trans. Same way with all of them. Guys, we need to stop ignoring reality. We need to protect our communities, our women, our children. We have the population collapse continuing. Taiwan falling birth rate. Country's population declined for the 23rd straight month. Almost twice as many deaths as births. Now ranks among the world's lowest in fertility. Guys, it's not good. Our governments need to start incentivizing the native populations to have more kids. And they need to stop importing foreigners that are from cultures that are incompatible to try and make up for it. This one's good news, guys. Culture, good news. Half of all LGBTQ plus characters will disappear from TV next season, GLAAD study finds. And I'm glad. Are you? People are waking up. You have to pick a side. Well, when one side stops lying, I'll consider it. Yes, because they're both lying, guys. The sewer that is DC is an awful place. The Uniparty has reigned for decades. As soon as one of the parties stops lying, maybe we will start to have confidence in one of them. But right now, they both lie. They're both awful. Just a reminder. Like I said, I'm sorry. They are out of order, guys. But Nicki Minaj is going MAGA. It's an interesting timeline, guys. Gavin went after Elon's son, continuing with the trans debate. Said, "We're sorry your daughter hates you." He says, "I assume you're referring to my son Xavier, who has a tragic mental illness caused by the evil woke mind virus you push on vulnerable children. I love him very much and hope he recovers. My daughters, they love me very much." Yes, well said, Elon, well said. And this SKS cartoon in response, stunning and brave, identifying as Superman and that he can fly. Well, it turns out you can't. And then all they ever do is blame conservatives when there are deaths. It's not our fault, guys. Elon Musk to the EU. We're getting into memes. Yeah, guys, just cut him off. Got to teabag him. Do your thing. Conservatives, after being called deplorable racist, fascist Nazis for years. Liberals, after being called retarded once. Crying. Endless crying. West Virginia, welcome to the chat. Thank you for reposting the stream. This one, if you know a Bop It, you know this meme. You got to twist it. You got to pull it. You got to refresh the tree of liberty with the blood of tyrants. Bop it. I said that wrong. Twist it. Pull it. Refresh the tree of liberty with the blood of tyrants. Bop it. Guys, if the government doesn't start figuring its shit out, we keep seeing things like Bondi Beach. The tree's looking thirsty. That's all I'm saying. You have the fake alien invasion that you always see on TV, but then you have the real alien invasion they never want to talk about. Which one do you think is more dangerous to the country as a whole? I'll give you one guess. And you shouldn't need it. It's not a guess. The real invasion is far more dangerous. You have Data Republican chiming in on the Franklin memes here, discovering that Buc-ee's is better than Tim Hortons because Franklin is a Canadian book character. So I really appreciate the dig at Canadians because Tim Hortons sucks and Buc-ee's is better. Fair point, Jenica. This is female shooting their shot. Yeah, this is pretty much how they do it, guys. It makes 0 sense. Guys, I gotta hurry this up. I am not normally supposed to stream tonight. I have to get ready for a business call that I have coming up here in just a few minutes. But I will leave you guys with this. Please check out the website. Please check out the profile. Join up with the Patriot Dad family community. And remember, guys, tell all the Lindas right now.